I think that we need everybody, particularly people who are not currently in political positions or who don't have any interest in politics, to come out and reform the entire system and say that, look, we don't need an INEC where the president or the governors can control. We need a situation where all of us agree that we must fight corruption. We need a situation where all of us agree that we must fight poverty. We need a national consensus, and politicians by themselves alone, they can't solve the problem.
No, it's not correct. You see, it depends on who you elect as a president, because there are two layers. There are political appointees that are highly experienced in terms of management and adding value. And then you have the technocrats that are responsible for drafting policies and ensure that there's compliance in executing those policies. Okay. So if you have a combination of these two, there's that semblance during the Obasanjo's regime. He has a technocrat set of teams that are vast, that have experience, network across the world, and then they do comparison of policies of other countries and what they need to do.
Right.
In fairness to the system, the standard they have set is even what is keeping the country today, but there's no follow-up to that effect. Now, in terms of political parties, outside and what I don't know, it has to do with what did the federal government really, or the party in power, how do they view Nigeria? Do they view Nigeria after winning election that Nigeria belongs to them? That we don't have shares in Nigeria anymore as Nigerians? We have no right to contribute. We have no right to add value. And then when you add value, the Justapo operation will start. You will be arrested. You will be prosecuted. Your security will be withdrawn, like I'm a victim.
So you're a victim?
Yes, of course, because my security were withdrawn.
Why? You're a national champion.
I'm still waiting for information. I've petitioned the IG. I reminded the IG. There's no response up to today.
I mean, your party is clearly one of the more leading political parties in this country.
I'm not concluding, but you can see there must be a political undertone. But I don't care, because some of us are products of guts. Those who trained us went through the same process. My boss, led Remy, was sent to prison fighting to restore democracy, and a host of others.
Yeah. We
were trained by some of the best, like the Cicero, Jim Obodo, them, Latif Jakande, them, and what have you. We interface with some of the best brains, and what we do is to pick the best out of them, and inculcate it into our system and make it a national policy. I'm 100% a Nigerian. Those who made me who I am, sitting here today, are not just my tribe or my religious people. Are collections of Nigeria that imputed into me and make me to believe that my total loyalty is to my country. So I wouldn't be part of compromising Nigeria unity or interest in any way or manner. So there's a difference between our sets that we are trained to be patriotic, to build institutions, build leadership recruitment, than people who jump the fence and enter politics without understanding the processes, the protocol that are involved.
As we begin to wrap up, please, how do you assess the Bola Tinubu's presidency in the last, where it's going to be 2 years in May?
Well, I've said this severally. I've been very consistent in my assessments. Economically, they are doing very poor, very, very poorly. There's no any statistics, either deliberately generated or naturally manifested, that suggests the economy is working. So which means the president needs to check his economic team. 2, there will be no investors that will come into a country where the political environment is not inviting, where the political environment is chaotic. Both domestic investors and foreign investors will not bring in their resources, where their resources will not be secured and their life will not be secured. So which means creating a secure environment, a friendly political environment, is the fundamental basis of development and economic prosperity. 2, the president make a very serious mistake by pulling out that subsidy to that magnitude, because he's not the first president to remove subsidy. What he needed to do, despite the fact that President Buhari have specified in the budget that either in June then or what have you, subsidy will no longer be funded. But as a president that was sworn in, I've taken out of office, you have the power to send a supplementary budget to say, I will refund subsidy for 3 months and do my study of the consequences or otherwise of removing the subsidy. And that will also give him a clear-cut advice that, look, if you are going to remove, maybe remove 5%, 10%, and let us review the impact it has generated for the country. But I believe theories convince him that this will have positive effect in the future. But you can see the dollar crashing day by day. You can see that from the Naira crashing. The Naira, I mean. You can see from the report we had, government is running towards bankruptcy financially. And if you said you just ask CBN to keep on producing Naira producing that, our currency will totally collapse. and the economy will totally collapse. It's happened to other countries. We must learn from the mistakes of others. The valuation of our currency deliberately, it was one of the wrongest decisions the government have taken. Relying on on World Bank advice and what have you, without looking inward into your own peculiarities as a nation. You developed your own economy based on the demand and the peculiarities and the acceptability of the citizens. You did a copycat kind of economic policy. You can't survive it. Because if you adopt an American system of economic policies and programs, we are not yet there. Your fundamentals are still weak. You need to carry the citizens along. Look at during the designation of the Naira. The economy collapsed to the community level, to the market in the village. People cannot bring out their chickens and got somebody to buy them. No money. There was no cash. There was no act of disservice and disloyalty to the country like that decision that was taken.
That was
and of course, I thought
just before the
and I thought that the courage of the governors and President Bola Tinubu to go to court for interpretation, which succeeded in
save the day.
Yes, save the day, will be a takeoff point for him to restore the hope and the support base, because the trust deficit gap, like I've said, is very massive.
Huge.
Two, he should have understood that the vote that produced him, 8-point-something million vote, is almost equivalent to vote that produced Professor Shagari. In a nation where we have over 100 million registered voters. So the voters' apathy is a fundamental threat this democracy is facing. Because studies have shown that in the next election, almost 75% people are not likely to come out and vote.
Wow.
They believe that their vote is not going to count. Now, whose responsibility to restore that confidence and trust that will have credible election, just like what President Jonathan, what happened during President Jonathan? You can see the wisdom, despite some people around him them telling him, no, don't concede. But the man faced reality. He looked at issues. He placed a call, say, I considered. The country was peaceful.
Even before the formal announcement.
Even before the formal announcement. Now, that is leadership. But when you say that nobody should dare you, who are you? And we have a history. Let me say this, maybe for them to remember.
Okay, sir, last point, quickly.
The military head of state, General Abacha, died in office. Despite the security apparatus available to him. Security goes around him, whether he's sleeping or he's awake, 24 hours they are moving to protect him. But he died in office. President Omar Musa Yar'Adua died in office in active service as a president. But he left a very sound legacy of revamping the economy. Look at the short period that he was. And he admitted that the process of election that produced was a faulty one. It takes courage and leadership for people to admit that. So my advice to President Tinubu, who went to exile during Abacha's time, who was the governor under opposition, tolerated by someone that they don't flow together, President Obasanjo, created local government which Obasanjo rejected, but he did not do anything to muzzle him down or use federal might to impeach him.
He didn't pay, but he didn't give him their local government allocations.
But that's what I'm telling you. There's that gap between them. Now, that should have served as a major lesson to him to adjust his own administration and build a nation of collectivism. But two, what is also affecting him, I believe, by trying to show he's building a regional government, which is not good for him. Buhari did the same. Most of the ministers were from northern Nigeria. And the question is that, do they help him to succeed? The answer is no. He turned out to be the worst president, President Buhari. Now, if Bola is doing a copycat of what Buhari did, thinking that his own people, his own friends, when he was a governor or colleagues or allies, are the ones to support him to succeed, he will end up the same. Because Nigeria have a collection of the best brains in every state of the federation. What you need to do is to select the best that can help you to succeed. Your friend may not necessarily help you, but somebody who have a career, who want to build a future, will give you everything that you need, will sacrifice it and make sure that the assignment you gave him is being delivered. So these are things, that lessons that he has gone through and the nation is going through, that he needs to review some of his policies. He needs to rejiggle his cabinet if he wants to leave a legacy. By 2 years is almost by May. It will be 2 years. And I don't see him surviving another the election with the same kind of policy going on. Protests against Jonathan started 2 years. He couldn't survive it. And there was no president in history that has spent money to get re-elected back in the history of Nigeria like President Jonathan. So if people are thinking that they will muzzle money, they will use money, they are mistaken. You only rig where you are popular.
Thank you so much for your insightful contributions. And thank you for your national service that goes all the way back to the Second Republic. And thank you for the views that you've expressed. One of the things that you said that I really like, is the fact that you've worked with the best, whether it's from the north or from the south, and it shows in the kind of advocacy that you put forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for coming to
It's a great pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. You will only rig a election where you are popular. If you are thinking of muzzling money to deceive people, to rig, you are wasting your time. Heavy, very, very heavy. But I wish all these statements into that voting reality, it would have been better. It will motivate a lot of people to come out and do the needful to vote, knowing fully well that their vote will be counted and we truly elect the winners. It would have been better with all these statements. But hey, it's not so. Statement without actions is like nothing. Do you understand? With the parties that are, all of them now, they're having one issues or the other, one problem or the other. You will only read where you are popular. That was the statement. This my former INEC, this thing, what's his name? Mike, is it Mike Iginla? That data man. All the promises before the election, a week or less than a week before the election, it re-emphasize on that. If you are planning to rig election, you are wasting your time. Money will not work. Election is going to be strict. It's going to be transmitted from the polling unit. It's going to be see me, see you. Nothing like rigging. You cannot manipulate the system. Not knowing that he was talking all of those things, giving Nigerian hope. No, it's not his fault. He said he don't know the plan between INEC and Tinubu. According to the system, according to the INEC, according to how the system were designed, the beavers were designed to work to functions. That's what that man was saying, and that's how it should be. But not knowing that INEC have his own agenda different from the reason of manufacturing those beavers. Yes, all we could see, always we see a lot of issues. We are watching 2027. It's not far away. Less than just 2 years from now. I think February 2027 election time. So just 2 years from now, and before you know, this year is gone. Now January is January don't go. January is gone already. We're in February, right? So the planning has started. December, before you know, now all of them don't officially announce themselves that they are the one representing this party they are running. Then we'll see. But in Tinubu's government, you see, he said it. There is no indications pointing that Tinubu government is working. That's what he said. In terms of economic, not me. That's what he said. People will say it's because he's opposition. They have rights to say that. Meanwhile, he's working, blah, blah, blah. It's because it's opposition party, SDP. Okay, no problem. We are watching now. For me, all I know, as far as the price of food and services still remain where they are, the government is not working. As far as dollars remain, Naira is crashing every day against dollars. The country is not working. Nothing is working. As far as those things, poor man hardly feed themselves. They could not afford to pay transportation to go to their various places. A lot of vehicles packed at home. The country is not working. Insecurity averaging everywhere from the southeast. The country is not working, and there is no reasonable man will come from a secure, safe environment with his dollars, millions of dollars, to come to Nigeria to invest in a country that is not safe. And the business is not safe, it's not conducive for living, and it's not safe for business. And the capital is not even sure. The return of investment, nothing is sure. So nobody is ready to throw away money just like that. Just like that. And that's why it's very difficult now for you to see those foreigners. It is well. 2 years from now, at least, picking what they born today now, 2 years from now, they don't they work out, they don't they talk small. Anyway, let's see what happened. Please share this video, follow this page for more and share this video. Like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy. Run out for me now. Subscribe.